Hey guys, I'm Jay, and today we are looking at this is a new variant of a very old design, the Buck 110. So now you should be looking at the specs. These are all measurements that I had personally taken myself, so if you are interested, pause and read. And this is the Buck 110 Slim Hunter Pro. We'll get into what I like about this, what I don't, and then we will talk about some of the changes, if any, that I would make. First, let's quickly take care of those size comparisons. First, let's go ahead and start things out with another 110, and this being the classic. And how about the 112 Ranger? Next is the Cold Steel Recon 1. Sticking with that lockback theme, Spyderco Endura 4. And of course we gotta squeeze in here the Paramilitary 2. How about another big boy, the Bestech Swordfish? And lastly, the Kit Carson designed CRKT M16. Starting with the blade, you are looking at 3.6 inch of CPM S30V blade steel. It is the standard clip point shape with a hollow grind and a very nice high polished satin finish. Now, some of the bigger, most obvious differences between the Slim Hunter Pro and the Classic Hunter being the addition of ambidextrous thumb studs, so yes, they are on both sides. Pocket clip, which I think is fantastic. Some very nice green micarta scales. And of course, don't forget about the S30V blade steel. Another huge improvement, I think anyway, would be the slimming of the handles. You can see the classic 110 on the left and the new Slim Hunter Pro on the right. Handle thickness of, get this, 0.38. Yeah, impressive. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Jay, wait a minute. Now, you said the blade length is 3.6 inches when I know darn well for a fact that the standard version is a 3.75 inch long blade. Well, here they are again, side by side. Here's the old one. You can see that's where the tip, and then the new Slim Pro is just a little bit shorter, and that is to accommodate the pocket clip. Notice also here the top swedge, like where the clip begins, and then on the newer. Now I just want to show you what I mean about that clip. So you can see here, can you see right there where the tip of the blade is in relation to the screws for the pocket clip? So that is why this blade is just a little bit shorter, because of where the screws are attached for this addition of the pocket clip. As long as we're talking about the pocket clip, why don't we go ahead and just take a closer look at it. Now, to be honest with you, at first when I saw this, I saw the clip and I thought it was awful. I did not think I would like it. Man, was I wrong. And now first, check out these. You see where the material is removed from this clip in the shape of that, what's one of their logos with that anvil. And then this is just to have access to those screws. But also, it helps when you're pulling this out of your pocket because it kind of gives your finger, your thumb, something to hold on to when you're withdrawing it. Some of the other reasons why I really like this pocket clip is that, yes, it is a true deep carry, and you can see, look at that, they give us lefty love. Yep, it is switchable for us lefties. I also appreciate the fact that it's short. I mean, it takes up way less than half of the space on the handle. Actually, it looks like more like a quarter. And even though that this clip is short, let me see if I can show you this. Yeah, it still has a little bit of spring to it, so it's got a little give. So when you're putting this in thicker pants, the pocket material, no problem. I gotta tell you, I am just so happy that Buck decided to go ahead and add thumb studs to the 110. Now, the action on my example, because I have read and watched some other reviews, and I know some of you have experienced like grittiness, which I fully expected. No, not here. Action is very, very smooth. Didn't have to oil it at all, and there is absolutely, I'm going to bring it up to the mic. Yep, no grittiness whatsoever. I'm going to bring you in close so you can see these micarta scales. The fitment is actually very good. I mean, there are no gaps anywhere that I can see, and I can't feel like any kind of a ridge when you transition from the back spring to the scales. So well done there. Another pleasant surprise. Now, I hopefully you guys can see this here, the new Slim Pro on the left and the standard version on the right. Check out that centering. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. And then look at it here on the older, and you can see the centering is off just a little bit. Now, before we go ahead and just toss this up on the scale, I just wanted to try and show you guys here with my flashlight. Yeah, you can see that's just micarta. So there are no scales on the inside. Let's see how that is going to affect the weight. Wow, very nice. 2.9 ounces. And you know what? Let's see. 82 grams. That is going to be roughly the equivalent. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 AA batteries. Now I'm curious. I got to throw the old one on the scale. Whoa! 7.4 ounces. Oh, that's only 210 grams. No big deal. And let's not forget, of course, that this is made right here in the good old US of A. And this knife is covered by Buck's Forever warranty, which I do have first-hand experience with, because I had problems with my Buck Marksman. I had to send it in for repair, and man, did they take care of me. But guess what? I made a video about it. Yeah, so at the end of this review, if you go ahead and look up to the corner, you can click on that icon and watch that entire video about Buck's Forever warranty. Now, unfortunately, we do have to talk about some of the potential deal breakers, some of the stuff that I didn't like. And you know what? It's not, most of the stuff is really not all that serious. They're more nitpicks than anything else, but nonetheless, we do have to talk about it. And we're going to start out with the action and the closing, so the snap. See if you guys can hear this. Yeah, that's nothing. Let me bring in the classic version and do that same motion. It's a little bit better. Yeah, the snap on this is very weak. I mean, very weak. It really just does not suck it in to the handle. So now, I don't know if that is because of the backspring or the fact that there's some resistance going on the inside at the pivot. Can't take this apart, so I have no idea. Next potential deal breaker is going to be regarding the finish. Satin finish here. I really like my harder use knives to have a stone washed finish. on the blade just so it helps to hide some of that wear and tear. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back I also had reviewed the Buck Lightweight, and I will go ahead and throw a card up in the corner as well so you can click on the icon to watch that video. But in that review of the 110 Light, I had experienced quite a bit of blade play in all directions. And unfortunately, with the Slim Pro, yeah, there's a little bit side to side. Up and down isn't too bad, but there's just the slightest tick. But I really gotta force that. But there is definitely, yeah, a little bit of side to side. So I'm guessing that is going to have to do with the fact that there's no liners on the inside. And last potential deal breaker / nitpick for me is going to be the thumb studs. Now, I really didn't want to bring this up because I kind of feel like I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth, because I am just ecstatic that there are even thumb studs on a 110. But you can see how close they are up to the scale, and it's a little difficult to get at. I mean, maybe if these were moved down just a hair towards the tip, because you can see as it is right now, the studs are well out of the cutting path. So there's definitely room where these could have been moved down just a little bit, and I think that would have helped. That would have just put a little bit of room in between the handle and the thumb studs. Now, if it were up to me, there's a couple changes that I would make if it was possible. And the first one being that torque screws. I really wish that they would add torque screws to enable disassembly, or at least make the pivot adjustable. Next is going to be adding some liners. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, if you add steel liners, that is going to increase the weight. So, okay, I'll meet you halfway. Maybe how about partial liners? Because I really think that would help with that little bit of play in the blade. And the last change that I would make would be jimping. Just a little, I mean, even if it was just like 2 or 3 lines of jimping here on the blade spine, I mean, especially with a blade this long, that would just make a world of difference for me anyway. Now you can pick up your very own Buck 110 Slim Pro for $89, which I honestly think is fair for what you're getting. S30V blade steel. I mean, you're getting the Boss heat treat, thumb studs, micarta scales, which are really, really nice in the hand, and a pocket clip. And don't forget that Buck Forever warranty. I mean, that's worth at least half the price of the knife right there. So I really do like what Buck has done here with the 110. I mean, if a little bit of blade play and that thumb stud positioning and the weak snap, and let's not forget the $89 price tag, if that stuff doesn't bother you, or it's no big deal, that's fantastic. Then absolutely you have to pick up one of these.